because the club head can still be out even though my hands are working around my body. Then bring the club to the ground. The hands will feel like the club points to your belt buckle. What's happening, people? Today on the channel, we're making you a video. As you can probably tell, I've done another video in this. Get up, the boot, still there. It is what it is, people. You can't help it sometimes. But we're out here shooting videos for you guys. We want to make you better. Today, we're going to talk about why your setup can influence your takeaway. A lot of people overlook how to have good posture at address. Check out previous video on that, as I've already talked about that. But when your posture is incorrect, it can lead to tendencies. In this case, we're going to talk about why the club kind of pushes away from our body too much. Maybe you have too much of an outside takeaway initially, making it really hard to get to the inside on your downswing. So, that sounds interesting to you. Subscribe to the channel, like it when you're done, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's get after it. What's happening, guys? So today we're talking about posture. My posture might be slightly jacked up with this foot being broke, but it's all right. We're gonna hang it in tough. We'll be okay. So posture is a simple fix if you know how to get into it. If you haven't already figured that out, make sure you go check out that video and watch how to get into good posture. Once you do that, this video might not even be relevant. But here's what you have to understand what happens when we have poor posture, right? And I see this posture a lot where we get too bent over at the chest. It's because somebody along the way told us to bend at the hips, right? Bend your knees and check your V's and all that crap that you hear back in the olden days, which was, sounded good on Golf Digest, I guess. But what we're trying to do when we get in posture is be dynamic and athletic. So having an opportunity to move in multiple directions. It doesn't matter how good a posture I get in today, I'm not going to be dynamic, okay? So what we're trying to do is we're trying to create good lines between our forearms and our thighs so we're not moving around too much in the wrong directions. But when I get the forearm and the thighs to be parallel, I can shift and pressure and move around very well. And there's different core regions. There's a lot more to this when it comes to getting in good posture and understanding that full scale of how that affects our ability to move. In relation to this video, I see a lot of people bending over too much at their chest, right? So we'll see a lot of the butt tucked underneath, shoulders rolling down, really awesome looking postures. Let me tell you, you guys are real athletes out there sometimes. Just kidding. Anyways, so we're here in the kind of like dopey land, and our arms sit too much underneath our shoulders and we're out over our toes, right? Because of that, your brain, despite your inability to try to be athletic, your brain's still trying to be athletic. And it's going, Houston, this is not right. I need to get into a place where I can move. So I'm set up here. I'm too bent over, out over my toes. My hands are too vertical underneath my shoulders. All right, they're not matching my thighs. And then the first thing I do is stand up out of posture and kick the club out. And that leads to a lot of hair bending moves in the downswing and all the other crap along the way, right? So if your first move is to feel like you're standing up and the club's kicking way out, and again, a lot of coaches like to see the club outside the hands. I don't mind that. If the club's going outside, laid off, we're twirling at the top, coming underneath, and then goat humping it at the bottom, not so bueno. I might get flagged on YouTube for that, but who cares? So you get set up, you're too bent over, hands underneath our shoulders too much. The first move is to stand up, get into posture. We're not going to rotate. We're going to slide, and we're in trouble. So the simple thing to do first is when you try and get into posture, get your squat first. Boom. And I'm telling you right now, folks, it is simply amazing to me how many people can't squat well. If you don't know how to squat, stand in front of a wall next to a door frame, put your left or right hand on the edge of that door frame, toes to the wall, squat down without your nose hitting the wall or your knees hitting the wall, and let me know how you do. A lot of you are knee knockers and your knees will drive into that wall real quick because you don't know how to squat properly. So learning how to get a good squat is critical in getting good posture. I'll see a lot of people squat like this, see a lot of people squat like that, and it's like, what are you doing, right? Pretend there's 300 pounds sitting on your shoulders. If the first thing you do is this, you're eating concrete in your YouTube viral video. If the first thing you do is this, the bar falls off your back, you don't got a chance, right? So if you had 300 pounds on your back, how would you engage the ground first, right? I'm standing here, boom. And this is pretty much my posture. I might bend a little bit more to get down to my golf ball, but that's the first start. The golf club should point up towards my belt buckle at address, and you're looking for parallel lines on the forearms and your thighs, right? And now I have the opportunity to move around my thigh and bring the club in on the takeaway, right? And I guess I really should say your hands in on the takeaway, because the club head can still be out even though my hands are working around my body as I start to set the swing up. What we don't want is a big linear move and the hands are staying out and then everything's too high, the club's laid off, and then we got to kind of get creative with our hands at the top and then try and get really creative at the hands at the bottom. So again, if you have the outside takeaway because of poor posture, start by getting your squat first, boom. Then bring the club to the ground. The hands will feel like the club points to your belt buckle. The forearms and the thighs should be parallel. Start with a big twist. Let the hands come in because we can play with where the golf club is with our wrists as we get a good turn. So give that some thought. The next time you go out there and practice, you're not getting the desired results. I would probably venture a bet if you're in that other less desirable posture, a lot of toe hits, a lot of, toe hits probably the biggest one, honestly, but probably also a lot of like quick snap hooks and just forever out into right fields because you're trying to like change the path too late in the downswing. So keep that in the back of your mind. And if that video made sense and you kind of liked it, never thought about that before, give it a go and tell me down there in the comment section what you thought about it. And I'll see you guys in the next video.